Hey creators, do you struggle with creating realistic shadows in Photoshop? Or do you find yourself wasting hours trying to perfect drop shadow effect? I have an incredible tool that will save you tons of time instantly and boost your productivity. Introducing Shadowify 2. Shadowify 2 is the ultimate Photoshop plugin for creating hyper-realistic shadows with just a few clicks. Whether you are working on product designs, photo manipulations or digital art, this plugin does all the heavy lifting for you. It's quick, intuitive, and most importantly, gives you realistic shadow effects. Before we dive into how to use it and how it is easy to use Shadowify 2, please take a moment to subscribe to this channel. Your subscription is my motivation and it helps me to complete my challenge. If you want to learn more about the challenge, check out the video link displayed in the iCard above now. So guys, once you have downloaded the plugin file from the link, all you have to do is unzip the file, and then you'll have these two files into the folder. One is install and guide text, and other is Shadowify 2 version 1.2.ccx. So you have to double click the ccx file and it will take you to the Creative Cloud marketplace, and it will say that install a non-marketplace plugin. You just have to press the install button and hit OK button. And now your Shadowify 2 plugin is installed. Now let's go into Photoshop and see how these plugins work. So now I am in Photoshop and go to plugin panel. Here you can see the name Shadowify 2. Sorry for mispronunciation. And I'll just okay. So now here the panel has been opened of Shadowify 2. And as you can see, there are multiple options over here. First is reset plugin state, types of shadow, 6 types of shadow they provide you, and the lastly is Shadowify 2 button. Now what I'm doing is I'll just show you quick review of every shadow. So here I have taken a rectangle, and I'll just select. You just have to select the object you want to apply shadow, and select whichever shadow you want to apply. So here I am taking a rectangle. I have applied gradient to the rectangle, and I'll just double click the drop shadow. Now here the panel will be open, and directly you can create a shadow by clicking the button create shadow, and go to the shadow setting, and here you get numbers of options to change the angle of shadow, distance, steps, blurriness, opacity, end opacity, linear distribution, and also you can change the color. So I'll just show you how to change the color. Click on the color and select whichever color you want, and the color of the shadow will be changed. The best part of using this plugin is the shadow is created on different separate layer. Well, as you can see on screen here, the rectangle one, the shadow is created below the rectangle, and which is a separate layer. You can just toggle it off or on, but only thing you have to do is while changing the position of the element you have applied the shadow, you just have to select the shadow layer also to change the position. So that was the drop shadow. Now we'll go to the next, which is card shadow. Mostly card shadow is applied onto the pages or to kind of mock-ups where you have to apply shadow to below the surface of the object. Here I have taken the page from Illustrator, and we'll just apply the card shadow. Double click the card shadow and hit the create shadow button. Sometimes it takes times to create a shadow because it is creating multiple shadows at a time. So now it has created a beautiful shadow over here. Here you can also use the option called wrap transform, and you can just adjust the shadow angles or where you want to shadow to be. Now I will show you the other type, which is perspective shadow, and creating perspective shadow without using this plugin is really a tedious task. So I always recommend you to please download this plugin and please do subscribe to my channel. So let's just select the object. Here I have taken the vector graphics of person cycling and hit the perspective shadow. Okay, and here I'll apply the shadow. Okay, so as you can see on screen, a beautiful shadow of person cycling comes, and you can adjust the vertical blur, the angle of the shadow, the Gaussian blur, or you can apply fade also to the shadow. Now I am going to the fourth shadow, which is flat shadow. So here I have pre-applied it, and I'll show you how to apply it to text also. So as you can see, I have selected the text, and you have to select this flat shadow from the panel and apply create shadow. Click the create shadow. Okay, so here the shadow comes. So you can also change the angle here also. You have multiple options to in shadow setting and also in the fade. Okay. So now the next shadow is selective blur. Here you can apply the shadow to the selective part of the object. All you have to do is take the marquee tool and select whichever portion you want shadow to be applied. Then select the object and hit the selective blur and apply blur. Once you apply, the blur is applied only to the selected portion that you selected using a rectangle marquee tool. Most of the time it is taking time, even though I am using Mac M1, but I don't know why it is taking time. Oh, sorry. I just want to repeat this. Okay. So now we are going to see selective blur. So here what the selective blur does is, you have to select a portion where you don't want to apply the blur, and then using rectangle marquee tool, as you can see, let me show you, and then select the object you want to blur and apply the selective blur. This what selective blur will do is, it will apply blur only to the object where you haven't selected using marquee tool. Okay, so as you can see on screen, the blur is applied to the other two remaining sections of the object, leaving the selection as it is. And now the last shadow type is smart filter blur. Okay, so here smart filter blur is applied, and you can see you can change the angle, and it changes instantly. It doesn't take too much time once applied. Okay, so that was it about the Shadowify 2. Most of the time you might be using only 3 to 4 types of shadows, which is drop shadow, card shadow, perspective shadow and flat shadow. Rarely people use selective blur and smart filter blur. Share this video with other fellow designers and let everyone get the joy of shadowing. So hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up and grab yourself a free copy of Shadowify 2. Trust me, once you start using it, you will wonder how I ever managed without it. That's all for today, guys. Don't forget to let me know your experience using Shadowify into the comment box. Until next time, keep creating and stay inspired.